Namaskaram. Hello. Welcome. Hare Krishna. Today we're going to be talking about a controversial topic. Ooh. We're going to be talking about cultural appropriation versus cultural appreciation, specifically in regards to the fashion industry. So, if you live in 2021 on the planet Earth today, you have probably heard a whole bunch about cultural appropriation and this concept of people taking or stealing other people's clothing or religious ideas or philosophies or jewelry or all sort of different things, right? And usually the thing that I hear most is like white people can't have dreadlocks because that's cultural appropriation. And a lot of times I also hear that like if you're not of a particular place and nation, that you're not allowed to wear those clothes as well. Well, surprise, surprise, I'm not an Indian person. And I love my saris. I wear saris all the time. Maybe not all the time, but at least every other day, a lot. I have a lot of saris. I don't wear like regular Western clothes because for me there's no value in it. There's no meaning in it. And a lot of times the quality is very low, and it was made by slave labor or child labor, slave wages. And they don't even last that long. You know, you get something from Forever 21 or something, you wash it 2-3 times, there's already holes in it. You got to throw it away. So this kind of inspired me to talk about cultural appreciation and how cultural adoption and cultural appreciation can actually, one, really cut down on all of the pollution and the waste in the fashion industry. And number two, how we can support traditional and indigenous crafts, artisans, and textiles. So, I believe the fashion industry today is like the second or third biggest polluter across the whole world because so many people are buying so many more clothes these days, and then like I said, the quality's so low, they don't even last so long, so everybody's caught up in this big cycle of constantly buying new cheap clothing. And a lot of that clothing has microplastics in it, and it's really bad for not only the environment, but for our bodies and for our skin too. We absorb some of that into our systems. So if you look at different cultures, textile industry, like India, for example, instead of going to like Forever 21 and buying something that isn't going to last very long, like I could buy a sari like this, like I think this was $13, you guys. This is beautiful. This is a handmade organic cotton sari. It was made on a handloom by an artisan in India, and I love it. It's comfortable, it's so beautiful, and for me, I love them too because I wear saris because like it reminds me of Krishna, and it supports my Krishna consciousness and supports the sort of consciousness and like I guess like atmosphere or mentality and mindfulness that I want to create in my life. And I think if more people were to practice cultural adoption and cultural appreciation in as far as the fashion industry, I think it could really change the world, because we have traditional artisans and craftspeople that are involved in growing cotton and spinning the cotton into different threads and yarns, and then finally making clothes, making rugs, making hats, making all sort of different things on the handloom. And that could be from, India has a very rich textile industry, fashion industry. Mexico does as well. Peru, Africa, the beautiful kente cloths and materials they have. So I wanted to talk about this because all the time, you guys, I get non-Indian women that come up to me for years, and they're always like, oh my god, your sari is so beautiful, and I really wish I could wear one, but I can't because I'm not Indian or Hindu. And I'm like, why not? Like, Nobody says that you have to be Indian or Hindu to wear a sari. And I asked him, why don't you just try it? And you guys, like, so many people are terrified of being labeled as a racist or being perceived as offensive or being accused of being culturally appropriative. Now, I can understand that because I'm kind of a rebel and I don't care what people think, and if they come after me, I'm going to defend myself. And in all my years of wearing saris and stuff, like, I've only had one incident where I've had somebody bring up me wearing saris as cultural appropriation, and it was just some college-age white girl when I was going to community college, and I was amongst friends, and I didn't even have to respond. My friends just jumped in and defended me, and and told her how it was, and that I wasn't culturally appropriating, that I was culturally appreciating, and it's part of my life, part of my lifestyle, and part of my religion and spirituality. So I think one of the biggest differences of appropriation versus appreciation is if you give credit where credit is due, so you're not taking the credit for it, and number two, that you have mindfulness or awareness about what you're doing and what you're wearing. So for example, it might be okay, like, wearing a sari is one thing, but if I were to wear like a Native American like feather headdress that's only meant for like the warriors and for like certain ceremonies and rituals, like that wouldn't be appropriate. So you should do your work and be mindful of what it is that you're wearing or that you're promoting. But I think that we have to do this. We have to be appreciating and adopting other cultures' things in order to keep these indigenous industries alive. Like, what's going to happen to the weavers in Peru, or in the embroiderers in Chiapas, or the sari makers in India? Like, these are traditions that are thousands of years old, and it took generations of people to come up with different weaves and different designs that are specific to their village, their city, their state, or their country. And I wanted to show you one of the skirts. I went down to Mexico, to Guadalajara, and I was very lucky to meet a whole bunch of lady artisans from Chiapas. And I bought this beautiful skirt from them, if you can't see that there. But it's all hand embroidered. Isn't that something? And it was something like $30, I think. Absolutely gorgeous. And I ended up, and I speak Spanish, so I ended up sitting and talking with the artisan ladies for a good while. I bought a couple shirts and things from them as well. But it's so funny that the only people that really, get into this cultural appropriation debate are usually like liberal white people. Because whenever I meet like indigenous artisans and stuff, like, they're enthralled that I'm interested in their culture and that I want to buy their products and that I want to learn about how they made it and what is the story behind it. Because this, like, the time, the energy, the love, the attention that went into this, like, this will last for years and years and years to come. And, like, their spirit, their soul, there is, like, a shade, there's energy in this, right? So much more love and, like, value and meaning in this than just some mass-produced skirt from, like, I don't know, like, what, JCPenney's or something? Not that there's anything wrong with those, per se. It's just, like, I really think that most people, especially women, don't want to wear the clothes that they're wearing, because they tell me all the time, like, if they weren't afraid of being called culturally appropriative, they'd be wearing so many different things because they think they're beautiful. And I think if you really deem something as beautiful, if you see value in it, then it doesn't matter what religion you are, what culture you're from. Again, as long as you have the mindfulness there and you're giving credit where credit is due and you're being respectful, then you're bringing honor to the tradition and you're you're keeping the tradition alive, you know, because if we were to follow the mindset of the cultural appropriation people, all of these traditions and all of these professions, all of these careers that have been around for thousands of years, they'll just die out because they need people to support them. So it's better, it's more respectful, it's more helpful if you support the industry and you advertise it and you show it off and you tell your friends about it and get them into buying natural fabrics and supporting indigenous textiles, instead of letting those traditions just die or, you know, slowly just deteriorate away. And then where do they end up? The museums, you know, lost to time. So we have to keep these traditions alive here and well to be able to continue appreciating them. So I guess to wrap it all up here, I think we're hitting 11 minutes here. To wrap it all up, if you see something beautiful, if you want to wear something that you feel empowered in and you feel beautiful in and you feel good in, do it. Don't mind other people. Excuse my French. I know I'm a spiritual person. I'm not supposed to say bad words, but somebody comes up to you accusing you of cultural appropriation or calling you a racist or whatever, fuck them. They can go on their way. You do your thing, boo, because you are supporting the actual artisans and the industry while they're just running their mouths. Probably wearing clothes that were made by like some child labor in like Vietnam or Thailand or something, you know? So as far as ethics go, I think supporting these local artisans is a really great way to go instead of buying into the fashion factory industry, okay? So just remember, as long as you have mindfulness awareness and you're being respectful to the tradition, whether it's, you know, traditional Indian clothes, traditional African prints, or, you know, a beautiful embroidered dress from Chiapas, do it, you know, and do your research and do your history on those clothes. And I guarantee you, when you're comfortable, when you wear what you want and you feel empowered and beautiful, you're going to attract people and they're going to tell you that it looks beautiful and that they appreciate the uniqueness of your expression. And that will be an opportunity for you to share, oh yeah, I got it from this website or I got it from this co-op, and all of the proceeds go to actually supporting natural organic cotton farmers and the weavers and the traditional artisans and fashionistas. So I think that's all for now. In the link below, I'm going to place a couple different websites that I like to purchase from. There's a couple different Indian ones, and there's a couple different Mexican, and I think maybe one Guatemalan website. And most of the proceeds go directly to the artisans, which is awesome. So I think that's all for now. Take care. Wear what you want. If you feel empowered, do it. Spread your beauty, spread your expression, and I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.